Darth, Theorist, rise. A Halloween Star Wars What If. Curse of the Wookiee. Let's explore the depths of it in the video.
Where is it? Where is it?
Keep going. It's right behind us.
The lift. I can see the lift.
It's coming.
The distant metallic clatter. Chains rattle far above. The faint whine of an ancient pulley engine struggling against the storm. Lightning cracks, showing it all at once. The trees like pillars. The mist like smoke. And the rope elevator hanging from a cliff of roots. It's the only way out of the Shadowlands. A relic left by the Wookiee tribes, swaying like a noose in the wind.
It's right there. Don't look back.
Go! Go!
He falls hard into the mud. Something heavy hits nearby.
Help me!
The other man turns, just as a flicker of light from his lantern catches the thing as it moves. The shape of fur, and sinew, and teeth. Eyes that burn like hell. Then, motion, faster than thought. The other man doesn't wait. He runs for the platform, lungs on fire, boots slipping slick on the wood. He throws himself into the basket and slams the lever forward. Old machinery groans. The elevator begins to rise, ropes whining as gears catch. The sound of eating fading beneath him.
You can't fly. You can't.
There's a heavy thump from above. The basket sways violently. He looks up into blackness, and something looks back.
No! No! No!
The blaster bolts sink into the creature. It barely flinches. The ropes strain, fibers ripping one by one.
Oh, God.
And finally, snap. The elevator plummets. Wind howls. Metal screams. His voice is lost to the roar. A hunting room, lit by amber lamps in quiet wealth. The walls are alive with death, skulls of beasts from half a galaxy, fangs and horns mounted like art, pelts stretched beneath glass. It smells of polish, old cigars, and the faint metallic tang of formaldehyde. Grand Moff Wilf Tarkin walks between his trophies, a thin silhouette against the hearth. He studies them not with pride, but with boredom. The boredom of a man who has already conquered every hunt worth the name. Every creature fears extinction. That fear is what makes them predictable. His voice is dry, refined, almost gentle, the way a scalpel might sound if it could speak.
Of course, sir. We have another transmission from Kashyyyk Command. Unidentified energy readings in the lower canopy. 2 life signs lost before contact ceased. Poachers, no doubt. Local scouts report remains, sir, and something they couldn't identify. Couldn't or wouldn't? They said it was large.
Tarkin's gaze shifts to an empty space above the mantel. A single vacant mount, framed but waiting. For a moment, his reflection stares back. Tired eyes, sharp lines. The predator who has outlived his prey. At last.
Sir?
Prepare my transport. We cannot allow one of our richest workforce outposts to be left to its own devices. If the forests of Kashyyyk wish to keep their secrets, we'll see how loudly they scream when cornered. Shuttle engines whine through atmosphere. The roar dulls as repulsors engage. A low metallic rattle runs through the hall. Rain ticks on durasteel. The Imperial transport drifts beneath Kashyk's upper canopy, its lights slicing through green fog. Below lies the Shadowlands, a maze of roots and ghosts, older than the Republic itself. To most, it is forbidden ground. To Wilhuff Tarkin, it is a vacation. He stands at the viewport, hands clasped behind his back, a faint smile touching the corner of his mouth as the forest churns beneath him like a living sea.
Magnificent. Untouched by civilization or law.
Behind him, his expedition team murmurs over instruments. Dr. Nira Voss, biologist. Captain Hendricks, logistics. 2 stormtrooper scouts in hunting leathers instead of armor. Where Tarkin sees a holiday, they see a data set waiting to consume them.
Atmospheric pressure stable. Spore counts beyond safety limits. We'll need full respirators once we disembark.
Local liaison on comms, sir. He insists we stay above the lower route line. Claims the larger ancient lift was destroyed.
Destroyed? By whom?
He says it was torn down by the Wookiees themselves after the main basket was lost.
The shuttle shudders as it breaks through the final layer of cloud. A clearing yawns below, a gash of mud and fallen trunks where tribal huts huddle against the storm. The ramp opens, exhaling steam and heat. The smell of the forest hits like breath from a wet animal. Rot, sap, and a distant ozone. A group of Wookiee elders waits beyond the light, fur beaded with rain, eyes bright with warning. A translator droid approaches, rusted and old, but it communicates their message.
They say no one climbs down anymore. The Shadowlands have taken back the path. Those who descend return wrong.
Return wrong.
The claws of the hunter become the claws of the hunted.
A murmur rolls through the Wookiees. A single name repeated in the deep growl of Shariwook.
They speak of the one who was banished, the killer of his own kind. His spirit waits below, in fur and blood.
Mythology is the vocabulary of fear. We'll rebuild the lift.
Sir, that will take days.
Then we'll take a skiff, or a power loader. I didn't come halfway across the galaxy to hunt phantoms I can't reach.
The translator falls silent. The Wookiee elders lower their gazes, as though watching a grave being dug. Tarkin brushes rain from his sleeve, a man cleaning dust from an antique, and steps toward the mist-wrapped trees. Behind him, the firelight of the village fades, swallowed by the green gloom. Somewhere beneath those roots, a roar stirs like breath drawn through lungs of the planet itself.
The locals said the lift fell with men on it.
How long ago?
Last week.
Tarkin doesn't turn. He simply smiles.
Then we're not the first to find the trail. The question is, who will be the last to walk it?
Somewhere below, wood creaks, as if something vast is climbing toward the light. Not an hour later, the storm has passed. The only sound now is the whine of repulsor lifts and the creak of metal under strain. The skiff hangs at the edge of the cliff, attached to a winch, its lights painting the mist gold. Below, the Shadowlands open like a wound, an ocean of darkness where trees grow thicker than towers, and the ground is lost in vapor. It is not night down there. It is forever. The hydraulic hiss, magnetic clamps release, competing with the final pleas for the villagers not to go. The hover skiff drifts forward, lowering into the abyss on a cable winch, their only tether to the surface. No one speaks. Even Tarkin, hands clasped behind his back, watches in silence. For the first time since the landing, he looks small, a pale outline against a horizon that doesn't end. The canopy swallows the light. The air hums with life. Insects whispering, vines groaning as they shift. The deeper they go, the colder it becomes. The sound of the surface fades, replaced by something older, slower, almost like breathing. Faint wood creaks, then voices from above, a chant, low, guttural, in Shariwook. Dozens of Wookiee throats rising together, rolling like thunder caught in a drum. The elders stand at the cliff's edge, their silhouettes flickering in torchlight, chanting the names of the lost. Each word sinks after the descending skiff, like stones into a black lake. The translator droid records it, but no one will ever translate it correctly. There are no words in Basic for what they're saying. The chant begins to fade with distance. Now, only the deep mechanical hum remains, and beneath it, a whisper of wind that seems to come from below. The skiff rocks gently. A branch scrapes the hull with a long metallic screech. Dr. Nira grabs the rail. Her gloved fingers tremble. Somewhere beyond the fog, a single light blinks. The remnant of the old lift system, swaying on its cable like a dying star. The winch slows. Engines strain. The pilot mutters a curse under his breath, unheard by anyone but the forest. The trees close in now, so dense they seem to press against the skiff. Leaves slap the metal. Vines coil like fingers. The winch stops with a final clank. The engines sputter, hovering, steady. They have reached the bottom, but the ground does not look like ground. Only a carpet of roots, steaming under the pale glow of the floodlights. The air tastes wrong, sweet and iron-rich. Tarkin exhales, not in relief, definitely not in fear. Just the measured satisfaction of a man who has reached the next piece on his board.
We'll make camp here.
Above them, the cable trembles, a faint metallic vibration that travels down into the dark. Then it stills. The chant has stopped. The forest is listening. They work in silence. Lamps bloom one by one, pale circles fighting against an endless dark. Tents rise among the roots. Cables hum. Equipment blinks red and green like frightened eyes. Above, the canopy hides the stars. Below, the earth steams where their landing thrusters scorched it. The forest smells of metal now, and it does not approve.
Temperature's dropping faster than the instruments can compensate. It shouldn't be this cold down here.
Stormfront, baby.
Storms don't lower soil temperature 12 degrees in an hour.
Tarkin isn't listening. He moves away from the light, boots sinking into loom that sighs with every step. His lantern cuts thin lines through the mist. Its beam trembles where the air grows thickest. Behind him, the camp fades to a hum. Ahead, the forest waits. He finds it near a half-collapsed trunk. A torn strip of fabric, stained dark, Imperial issue. Then, half buried beside it, a metal wrist comm still blinking a faint distress signal. He brushes mud away with one gloved hand. The casing is dented inward, as if something heavy had crushed it.
Captain Hendricks. Sir. Log these coordinates. We found remains of a previous expedition.
He lifts the lantern higher. The light crawls across the ground and stops at a print pressed deep into the soil. Large, 5-toed, but uneven. Claws sunk so far they could have cut the roots beneath. The edges still glisten. Tarkin crouches. Steam rises from the impression, haloed in his light.
Not quite Wookiee. Much larger.
He touches the claw mark. The heat bites through his glove. For a moment he feels the pulse of it, slow, deliberate, as if the ground itself were breathing. He doesn't pull away. A whisper of wind slides through the trees, carrying something beneath breath and growl.
Sir, sensors picking up movement to your north. 30 meters.
Get back to the light, sir.
Tarkin doesn't move. His lantern flickers once, twice. On the trunk beside him, a single claw mark stretches shoulder high, carved deep into the living wood. Fresh sap runs like blood. The growl comes again, closer now, beneath the soil rather than above it. Then, nothing. Only the forest pretending to sleep. The lantern steadies. Steps retreat through the mud. When he reaches camp, the others don't ask what he found. They don't have to. The scent of it follows him. Iron, fur, and rain. Above, the cable to the surface trembles once, as if something heavy brushed against it. Then it goes still. Crickets drone. The occasional snap of cooling metal. a faint hum from generators. The camp breathes as the night goes on and carries itself to sleep. Murmurs, shifting boots, the low static of comms. Captain Hendricks sits alone beside the outer floodlight, blaster rifle resting across his knees. The lamp flickers against the mist, barely holding back the dark. Out there, the forest moves, not in sight, but in sound, 1,000 tiny motions whispering through the roots. Footsteps approach behind him. Slow, measured, unhurried. Hendricks doesn't need to turn. Only one man in the galaxy walks like that.
Can't sleep, sir.
Sleep implies peace, Captain. I find that most unnatural.
You always like this on hunts?
Always. The moment before contact is the purest thing in existence.
Tarkin pours himself a small measure from a metal flask, offers none to the soldier. The scent is sharp, something old, spiced, civilized amid the rot.
You know, Hendricks, I once hunted a crate dragon on Tatooine. Took 3 walkers and a platoon to pin it. The locals worshipped it, called it sacred. I called it dinner.
And did you eat it, sir?
Every victory deserves digestion.
Both men freeze. The forest exhales, long and wet, as though breathing through a throat full of blood. In the floodlight's edge, something moves. Shadows overlapping in ways shadows shouldn't.
Sir, 2 of them. See the eyes?
Amber glints in the dark. Twin pairs low to the ground, circling. Growls rise. Not human, but not quite beast. The air vibrates with their hunger.
Permission to engage.
Patience, Captain. Let them introduce themselves.
A rush through the foliage. The first shape bursts into the light. A Wookiee, twisted, wrong, fur slicked with mud, claws black with sap and blood. It screams, voice fractured between roar and howl.
Contact!
Blaster fire snaps through the dark. Bolts sear bark and steam. The second beast lunges from the flank. Hendricks fires, hits shoulder. It doesn't stop. Tarkin draws his sidearm, old, elegant, and perfectly clean, and takes aim as though it's sport, not survival.
For you, Captain, this is business. I'm on holiday.
The first hits chest, the second hits throat, the third silences everything. Echoes fade into dripping water and the hum of cooling barrels. Steam rises from the corpses. Their bodies twitch once, twice, then still. The smell of burned fur mixes with rain. Tarkin holsters his weapon, expression untouched by triumph.
What were they, sir?
Ferals. Wookiees who use their claws to kill or exile to the Shadowlands. A long-lost punishment that seems to be alive and well in this particular region.
They drag the bodies to the tree line, leaving them beneath the floodlights. The forest seems to lean closer, as if watching its children return. No one speaks as they walk back through the mud, only the whisper of hours-old rain and the sound of something large shifting far below. Dawn arrives, thin and gray. Dr. Nira stands where the bodies were left. The smell hits her first. Human, not animal. She kneels, brushes mud from a face she's never seen but recognizes from the data logs. She gasps.
Stars above. These aren't Wookiees. You said they were Wookiees.
2 men lie dead in the dirt, one clutching a shattered comm device, one missing a leg, his features frozen mid-scream. Wind stirs the leaves. A low groan echoes deep from beneath the ground. Tarkin steps beside her, silent, stone-faced. He looks down at the bodies as if studying a map of his own making. Then he smiles.
Fascinating. Unless this creature decided to swap our attackers with its own, they are one and the same. Some sort of infection. Look here.
He points out the 3 blaster holes he placed himself not a few hours ago. The forest breathes again. Something moves along the roots, just below hearing. A plan is formed. The hunt starts now. Though the rain had stopped nearly 8 hours ago, the forest still drips as if bleeding out the last of the night. 2 bodies lie zipped inside plastine shrouds, human now, though the mud still remembers their claws. Captain Hendricks leads the trek, all of them draped in wet ponchos and masked in breathing apparatus to cut the spore-choked air. Dr. Nira follows, datapad clutched like a charm against the dark. Tarkin walks behind them, eyes bright with curiosity.
Trails fresh. They came from the east slope. Low ground.
Radiation trace on the soil. Faint. Something burned there recently.
Then we follow the burn.
Branches snap underfoot. The hum of repulsor drones fades as the canopy closes overhead. A steady drip, drip, drip grows louder. The forest tightens around them, roots rising like ribs, air thick with the smell of sap and copper. Here, light doesn't travel. It drowns. Every step feels trespassed. They pass remnants of gear, a torn belt pouch, a cracked lantern still faintly blinking. Each artifact hums with ghostly energy, as though the men never stopped running.
Movement ahead. Small. Clustered.
Creatures.
No heat signature. I'm not sure.
They reach a hollow where the trees twist inward, forming a natural pit. Mist pools at the bottom, veined with red light. The smell hits first. Rot, fur, and something sweet like spoiled fruit. Buzzing flies. Slow squelch as someone steps forward.
What the hell? What is this?
Bodies, or pieces of them, arranged like offerings. Armor plates, bones, strips of fur braided into cords. The center glows with a faint bioluminescent slime, pulsing in time with a heartbeat none of them can hear. Dr. Nira kneels beside it. Her gloves sink into the substance. It clings like wet silk.
Cellular activity. It's alive.
Fascinating. The beasts build. They decorate. Intelligence at work.
You call this decorating?
Predators evolve. Savages worship. The difference is perspective.
There's a low rustle beneath the pit, a soft rhythmic scraping. The slime quivers. Steam lifts in threads. The shape moves below the translucent layer. Large, skeletal, breathing in slow heaves.
Something's here.
Back. Get back.
A roar, deeper than the others, full of pain and memory. The sound shakes the trees. Spores fall like snow. They retreat up the slope, boots sliding, light beams slashing the mist. Something massive stirs beneath the pit, only a glimpse through the fog. A Wookiee form stretched and wrong, covered in pale fungus, eyes glowing from within. It does not follow. It only breathes, retreating, waiting. The group moves fast, cutting back the way they came. They take a beat, the sunlight barely making its way to this place, like pinpricks through a cut sheet.
Captain, mark this site. We'll return prepared.
Prepared? Sir, we barely made it out. I said we'd blow it from orbit.
Come now. This is a hunt, not a skeet shoot. And now, we know what we're hunting.
Behind them, in the nest, the pulsing light brightens. One beat, then another. And somewhere in the darkness, another breath answers. They move quickly, but never fast enough. The forest seems to breathe around them, roots shifting, leaves whispering their names. Each man drags a coil of line or a canister of fuel. Dr. Nira's voice shakes as she dictates notes between gasps. The thing retreated from the sun. She thinks, trying to sound professional, trying to keep record of all new discoveries.
Deploying perimeter deterrents. Heat traps. Motion lines.
Set tripwires 10 meters out. Anything breaks it, light it up.
Efficient, Captain. Fear does wonders for productivity.
They reach a ridge where the light thins to amber. The sun is falling fast, its last rays bleeding through the canopy like molten glass. Ahead, only the shadows move. Then the forest stops breathing. No wind, no insects, just a faint creak of wood.
Sir?
The answer comes as sound before sight. A wet drag, a deep inhale that isn't theirs. Branches bend above them, something massive shifting its weight.
Positions!
The creature crashes through the canopy, a silhouette of muscle and matted fur, eyes burning white, no longer skeletal. It hits the ground in a spray of dirt and mist, roaring so loud the air itself shatters. Blaster fires wild, bright, panicked, screams. 2 troopers vanish into the dark with the sound of bones snapping.
Flare! Use the flare!
A hiss, then a burst of magnesium light. The beast recoils, shrieking, steam rising off its skin. Hendricks fires point blank, the bolt tearing across its shoulder. The thing turns on him faster than light, jaws splitting wider than a skull should allow. It bites, metal crunches, flesh tears. Hendricks screams, echo.
Fuel, now!
The canister opens. Whoosh. Flames rush across the ground. The creature shrieks and retreats into the trees, its roar trailing off like thunder over mountains. Silence returns, trembling at the edges. Only Hendrix's ragged breaths remain, wet, shallow, desperate.
He's losing blood fast. Infection already spreading. Look at the veins.
We move. He walks or he dies here.
Still with you, sir.
They half carry him back through the dying light, the forest groaning around them as if disappointed. By the time the camp comes into view, the sky has gone black and silver. Later, by the crackling fire, the generators humming low, wind through the cables. They've built a ring of flame around the tents. The smell of burning fuel clings to everything. Hendricks lies near the center, wrapped in blankets that twitch with every breath. Above them, the moon rises beyond the canopy, enormous, pale, the color of bone.
Temperature spike. His pupils. Sir, he's seizing.
Don't touch me!
His body arches, tears, reforms, hair erupting through skin, teeth lengthening, eyes rolling white. A heartbeat later, Hendricks isn't there anymore.
Oh my god!
Continue. Fire! Use the fire!
The fire eats everything. When the smoke clears, what's left of Hendricks is human again. Charred, still, almost peaceful. Only the crackling embers and slow breath remaining.
He was changing.
For a time. If the beasts fear fire, then fire will be our weapon.
He turns toward the dark tree line, eyes catching the dying glow. Behind those trees, something answers him with a roar that isn't fear. It's fury. The pit must burn. The wind pulls at the canopy as the nest waits ahead like a wound that has finally been exposed. Roots torn back to reveal the rotten heart. The team moves like a small, determined plague. Wet boots, fuel cans clinking, lines of incendiary cable unspooling across the steam-dark earth.
Trip line set. Motion sensors active. Thermal coils are primed. The incendiaries are chained to the main ring. If they trigger, they'll feed the canopy. We've got one chance to get the beast where the fire can hold it.
There's a soft zip of tape, soft thunk as fuel canisters are fixed in place.
Good. Precision, Doctor. I never liked waste.
Dr. Nera moves with hands trained by labs, not war. She checks seals, swabs odd fur samples into vials, clips a tiny recorder to her collar. She records measurements, as if leaving a paper trail in the smoke.
Sample 1, dermal fibers. Hybrid keratin growth. Foreign mitochondria. Sample 2, blood residue. Oxidized. Protein complex is altered.
Her fingers tremble only once as she labels a vial A01 and seals it. She won't get to catalog much more. There's a low rumble far off. The sun is setting once again.
You do good work, Doctor. Scientific records are the last word we bring the wild.
Those records might be all that proves this ever happened, sir. Or what it was. We should.
We will collect everything, including my trophy.
A distant guttural reply, the creature testing the light. They move slow, bait set, trooper collars noised, recorded screams playing through a routed speaker. An old cruelty, but effective. Something Tarkin's used before. The forest answers, curious, hungry. Something moves rapidly through the trees, a rush of displacement, then a massive thud as the creature strikes a false line of bait. The thing takes it. It hits the open clearing like a wave. It is bigger than memory, and more terrible. Steam rises from its fur as if the forest itself begins to sweat.
Now, ignite the ring. Activate the charges.
Tarkin hits the panel. Clack. Then a series of distant electrical pops as charges line the perimeter hum to life.
For you, beast, this was a hunt. For me, it is the hunt.
Flames race. Heat pushes them back. The creature screams, a long, keening sound as fire eats fur and flesh. The scream ricochets through the roots in raw, unnatural harmonics. The creature's death is layered, horrible. An initial scream, thick, rippling as flesh chars and splits. An animalistic growl. Then a final, long, echoing roar that tails into burning wood. They watch the flames consume the nest, the thing within, and they wait for the last sound to fall into stillness. Nira stands with her sample vials, steaming in her hand like trophies. Soot dots her hair. The clearing is a wound. Black earth, boiling sap, the stink of cooked meat. Her gloved hand goes under a mass of blackened fur, and the sample vial slips, shatters against a hot root, a small flare of embers. She coughs and brings a hand to her throat.
Primary nest destroyed. Secondary chambers collapsed. If any are alive down there, they're buried.
Then let's make certain.
He tosses another canister into the pit. Flames leap higher. The forest howls, a noise halfway between storm and voice, a low, distant rumble. The ground shudders.
Sir, seismic spike.
The soil bulges. Cracks crawl outward, glowing from within. A roar rolls up from the deep, ancient, furious, alive. Roots snap, rocks grind. A colossal shape forces its way out of the pit. The true beast. It pulls itself into the light, dripping flame and molten sap. Its eyes are suns of rage. It moves like a mountain learning to walk.
Fall back. Fall back.
The creature swats at the remaining troopers like ash. One scream, then none. Nira turns, reaching for a vial. Too slow. A sweeping claw rips her in two. She falls beside a recorder, one hand still clutching it. Tarkin fires, each shot deliberate, carving holes of light into the dark. He backtracks quickly towards the skiff, firing, reloading. The Alpha's shadow covers him. One blow crushes the skiff's prow. Fuel sprays like rain. As he runs, he detonates the reserve explosives buried beneath the earth, causing a chain of explosions. Firestorms tear through the clearing. The blast hurls him into the mud. The skiff lies ruined before him. When the light clears, only the monster and hunter remain. They circle each other in the burning wreckage, both limping, both bleeding. The monster roars, showering embers. Tarkin reloads, eyes steady. For the briefest moment, his eyeline twitches to the exposed power core of the burning skiff, and he lowers his aim.
Suddenly, an eventful holiday.
The beast charges. He leaps to the side, aims, and sparks it. He fires. The bolt pierces the core. A metal cable twangs at the top of the cliff. From the abyss below, a figure climbs. A burned glove, a scorched coat. The metal hook clangs against the cliff edge. Boots scrape stone. The body hauls himself up. Tarkin stands at the summit, drenched in soot, eyes pale with exhaustion after hours of climbing. The Wookiee elders watch in silence as he staggers across the platform. He drops the head at their feet.
Mythology
is the vocabulary of fear.
He straightens, turns toward the waiting shuttle. The elders say nothing. The wind takes the smoke from his coat and carries it back down into the forest. The shuttle glides above Kashyyyk, smoke curling from the forests below. Inside, Tarkin sits alone, coat torn, hand pressed to a wound at his side. He winces, a breath through his teeth, then he stills, eyes on the stars. He glances briefly at his trophy, and next to it, Dr. Nira's research. The ship rolls gently, cresting the planet's curve, and there, over the horizon, rises the moon, pale, enormous, spilling light through the viewport. For a moment, everything is calm. Then his breath changes, slower, deeper. The veins at his wound begin to move beneath the skin. He grips the chair. Leather creaks. Bones shift. And in the moonlight, his reflection blinks back with amber eyes. The shuttle drifts on, quiet as a prayer, while something inside keeps breathing. That's our tale. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you'd like to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.